Hey everyone, Michael Catterall, Product Lead at elevaite365 here. Today I'm taking you through a quick demonstration of Windows-based automation in elevaite365's platform. To get started, we need to first create or add a Windows-based application and set up our first virtual machine. Now, if you want to do this, you'll need to connect with the elevaite365 team because there is additional license costs for Windows-based automation. Once our team has set it up, you'll get something that looks similar to this, where your environment actually points to a Windows virtual machine rather than our conventional URL, which we use for web-based automation. After that, we can go ahead and create a test, give it a name, a description, and select the folder. Then we can create the test and go ahead and click Run in the top right. You'll get this pop-up that displays where we can select our test user, which also points to the actual server of the virtual machine that we're going to be connecting to execute the test script. Let's press Run, and you'll see it connects to it instantly. Now, recording test scripts does differ from how it works on our web-based automation, as we use computer vision to automate these desktop environments. Let's go ahead and add a click command just to show how that looks. Okay, once you add the click, we can press Field Inspector, which takes a screenshot of the page and now allows us to select a region on the page that we want the automation to interact with. So I've selected the icon in the taskbar. Now I'm going to press Save Selection, and that's been mapped to our click step. We also have the option of doing a double click or selecting occurrence if we have multiple fields on the page with the same appearance. Let's go ahead and run this step by itself just to make sure it works. Perfect, that worked. So let me continue with the rest of this test script by interacting with a few more fields here. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add a AI verification. So most of the AI commands that exist on our web-based test automation also exist for the Windows-based automation. For example, ask AI and verify using AI. So let's go ahead and verify using AI. Select screen, and for the prompt, I'm going to say, make sure quantity is greater than 1. Maybe we also want to save something on the page. So I'm going to add the ask AI command, and I'm going to say, save the item number. And then I'm going to select a variable. I'm going to create a variable called item number, give it a default value, click save, select it. And then just to be more specific, I'm going to click into the question, press on the skills feature in the bottom right, enable screenshot, which will essentially, when this step runs, take a screenshot of the screen and then extract whatever we're asking for in the question. And then let's be super specific and say, just return the item number captured in the screenshot, no other information or data included in your response. Okay. And then finally, we can clean up this test script by clicking on the final buttons here. Okay. Now I'm going to close in the top right, and I'm going to run this test script from the beginning. Select our user. Now, whenever you run from the beginning, you'll notice that all the steps get put into this loading state. This is essentially just a cleanup task. So it's going and clearing the desktop, making sure no applications are open, so that it's always starting from a fresh state. There we can see verify using AI has worked. Ask AI has passed. And then looks like I made a mistake near the end there by pressing space. I thought that would scroll down. So our last step here should fail, and we should see an error message as well. And you can see failed as the image cannot be located. Because this automation is all image-based, rather than in web taste where you've got your selectors and static text, we've got these images here, like the cancel button, for example. Error message is simply just saying, hey, we could not find the image that you're looking for on the page. Now, let's come up to the step 6, Ask AI, and see if it's saved our item number correctly. And here we can see item number L6V000005, which matches what we saw on the screen. So that Ask AI has worked to essentially scrape that data from the page using that screenshot. And then we've also got the verify using AI, which passed and gave us a message explaining why it decided to pass. Now, let's see if we can go ahead and debug this to see why it might not have worked. So it looks like the space key isn't exactly suitable in this case. So what we can also try is just go ahead and add an additional click, field inspector, and then I'm actually just going to select this region here to click on the scroll bar itself. Now let's run this. There we go, that worked perfectly. And what we can do now is go ahead and click cancel here, close this, close the virtual machine, and we'll run it again and make sure this works end to end now. So again, it starts off by making sure that the desktop is completely cleared. Once that's completed, we'll see it kick off the first step. Here we go, nice and fast. Now the verification, it passed last time, so it should pass again this time. There we are. Ask AI, this one takes a little bit longer. That one passed. Now it should scroll perfectly. Click cancel, and we are done with that test script. Everything's passing. Awesome, let's just do a double check. Go into Ask AI, click on our variable, make sure it's the correct value. Yes, it is. L6V00005. Awesome. So you can see this test script is now working. We can run it 100 times and it's going to work every single time. In terms of the results of this, so we can jump over to the results page, but it looks basically the same as our web-based test scripts. So let's actually go into that failing one that we ran before, and we can see all the steps are on the left side. and then on the right we have the video. I can expand these sections on the AI commands to see the full AI messages. And then at the very bottom, obviously, we've got our error message telling us that the cancel button was not present because I made the mistake on step 8 by pressing space. These can also be added to scenarios as well. Just a quick note, if you add them to a scenario, just make sure you're careful not to run multiple Windows tests at the same time on the same virtual machine, because they will interrupt each other. If you have any questions about testing specific Windows applications, feel free to reach out to our team.